I want to be number one. Who wants to be number one? Everybody does. The problem is that when we're talking about Google Ads, being in the number one spot or living in the number one spot or staying on the top of the search at all times is not realistic. It's not real. It's not real at all. Now, too often in the Google world, and whether it's search or paid ads, people have been ingrained with really bad actors out there telling you that if you pay enough money, we'll guarantee you the number one spot for organic search, for paid search, for maps. And there's no guarantee in life. Guarantee in life, there's two of them: death and taxes. And hopefully you don't have a ton of taxes, and hopefully you live a long life, right? But when it comes to Google, there are never guarantees. So whenever somebody gives you a quote guarantee, make sure to run the other direction, right? That's usually a agency that's just not worth a shit. Now, if they guarantee to work hard or guarantee to show you results, but don't have an outline of what those results are, and that's a conversation you have with them, great. That seems like a pretty reputable company. But when we're talking about being number one and taking the top spot, the realism in there is just it's yes, you'll show up number one a lot of times, but if you're talking about any kind of market, and let's use the Phoenix metro market is the one that we use for most stuff. There's an area called Ahwatukee that is not a large area. If you came to me and said, I want to be number one there, I want to show up in the top spot, I would tell you that's not very possible at all times. We can give you a good sized budget where you would show up in the first few searches. Now, are you talking 24/7? Are you talking a specific time of the day? And also, are you okay with having a really high cost per lead? Because we're going to have to bid pretty high, make sure that the ad copy and ad quality is great, make sure the landing pages are great. There's a lot of things that go into it. And then your budget's going to need to be double, triple, or quadruple what it would normally be to get probably the same amount of leads. So we talk people off the ledge with that. Now, if we go to Scottsdale and you say you want to be number one, my first comment's going to be, well, if you want to be at number one for Scottsdale homes for sale, let's make sure we get a budget of about 40 grand. Bid an absorbent amount of money and sit on that top spot. And honestly, it's kind of a lost leader to try to do that. And we try to talk people out of it. We'll have people ask us that question or tell us they want that guarantee to be in the top spot for certain areas. It's not feasible. Whoever told you could do that in the past isn't really being honest with you. And really, it's not a great spot to be, because there's a lot of people that'll drop down to the number two spot for their to click on their search more times than not. So it's not terrible to be in that top spot. And back in the day when they used to show on Google Ads, they would show you what your positioning was, what your average position was. We would see a 1.4, 1.8, 1.3 from time to time, which meant you were in the top spot more times than you weren't, but you weren't always guaranteed to be there. And if you're not running 24/7 with a massive budget, you're not going to be there all the time. So don't let people steer you in the wrong direction and tell you they'll guarantee you top spots. And then also, in the same token, don't go searching for your stuff all the time. If you go searching for your ads all the time, a couple of problems with that. First off, you're not clicking on it, so your click-through rate goes down. Google views that as, well, that ad isn't good enough for somebody to click on it because this person keeps searching for something and they have yet to click on that ad. And then if you do click on it, you're costing yourself money out of pocket. You might as well just take cash out of your pocket and burn it. There's just no reason for that, right? So keep that in mind when you're going through and trying to be realistic on what you're doing. Would you like to be in the top spot all the time? Sure. Would you like to have the number one market, be the number one position in your market? Definitely. What's realistic and what's going to move you from the position you're at to a better position in life, whether it be in Google Ads or whether it be in your market share, the whole saying that Rome wasn't built in a day is a very good saying, because it's going to take a while to build you up to those spots. It's going to take a while to maintain those spots. Just keep that in mind and have a clear and open, realistic understanding of what you're looking for. If you have any questions in regards to that, or if there's more that you want me to dive into on positioning yourself in Google and where you sit in those positions, feel free to comment below or ask any questions. We'll always answer them. and we can possibly get you to that 1.3 or 1.5 spot. We'll see. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon.